Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have a 2026 Toyota Sequoia. We'll look at the interior, exterior, some of the trim level specifics, then go for a spin around, see what it's like out on the road. Okay, so now we're behind the wheel of the 26 Sequoia, and this particular one is the Platinum trim. So there's going to be 6 different trim levels. This is kind of right in the middle, so it does give you a lot of pretty cool equipment. Obviously, you'd expect a name like Platinum to be on top, but you've got your TRD Pro, the 1794, and then the Capstone. So if you really want something special, that Capstone is absolutely the one to check out. Now, new for 2026, the Sequoia did see a few upgrades. The Capstone is going to have a new textured leather upholstery inside. This one is just going to be kind of the standard leather material, but if you're looking at the Limited, that's going to now come standard with leather seating in either the black with the white stitching or the gray with the black stitching. So this particular one has the blue stitching, which I actually really like and does work very well with the Sequoia. But only other difference is the new color for the TRD Pro. I don't have it, but it's called Wave Maker. So you can imagine it's kind of that jet ski feel. It's ocean blue. It is so cool, especially on a vehicle of this size. Having that Wave Maker is pretty cool and something we look forward to maybe seeing here shortly. But for now, let's put it in drive. We'll touch on some of the features of this Platinum and a few other things in the lineup. Now, what powers these Toyota Sequoias is a 3.4 liter V6, and that's going to be a hybrid engine, but this isn't any sort of plug-in hybrid. This is just going to regenerate to help you get the best possible fuel economy and a ton of power. This actually makes 437 horsepower and 583 foot-pounds of torque. This thing gets up and moves. For how big it is, this motor pushes this Sequoia along just fine. Fuel economy might not be the best. You're probably looking at low 20s on the highway, but obviously if you're looking at a large third row SUV, a hybrid having that little bit of added benefit and boost does make it pretty cool. Now, one sweet thing about this particular Sequoia, it has a TRD performance option. So that's going to give you the dual air boxes. So you can actually hear it when you kind of put your foot down. You get a little bit more noise through the engine, not obnoxiously, just a little bit more fun and a little bit more sporty. Now, like I said, there's 6 different trim levels, so there is quite a bit of kind of differentiation between what features or options and different things you can get. The biggest one being the towing capacity. So if you're looking for max towing capacity, that would be the rear wheel drive SR5, and that's 9,520 pounds. When the Tahoe tops at about 8,400 and the Expedition at about 9,300, having the most possible towing, you're looking at the rear wheel drive Sequoia, which is pretty impressive. But if you go to the 4-wheel drive model, that does dip a little bit to about 9,880. So if you've got a large trailer, a larger boat, that is important to note that the rear wheel drive will tow the most, and then the 4-wheel drive just a little bit down from there. But starting on the exterior of this one, this is the Celestial Silver. It's got some of the gray and black accents around the vehicle. I love the design of these. They look so tough coming down the road. Obviously, if you go for the TRD Pro, it's even more extreme, and the Capstone is absolutely a beautiful vehicle coming down the road. But I think this Platinum is no slouch either. With the equipment, the style, this one is obviously more on-road focused, so it gives you the 20-inch wheels with more of an on-road style tire, but it's kind of a titanium color, and it just works really well with the silver. Now, obviously, if you are looking at a third row SUV of this size, space, storage, and room inside is going to be very important. Now, this particular one gets that cool hatch you can open up, kind of the old school feel to it, where you can just pick the glass up if you want, or obviously it has a power liftgate out back. Now, what's great about this, storage space, you can kind of configure almost like a Lego set. Power seats, like I said, are going to come in most of the models as an option now. Obviously, the Platinum is going to have the power folding third row. So if you need a little bit of extra space, you can click the button, it will fold it down for you, or it will even bring it back up. And another thing that's pretty unique, you can actually slide that third row. You can even do it with one hand. It is so easy to move it about. You simply just pull the handle, slide it forward and back. That gives you plenty of legroom if you need it in that third row. Where I sit at 6'1" in the back, I can actually fit in the third row. I cannot say that about most third row SUVs on the market, but this one you actually do get a surprising amount of room. But if you find like you have to bring something with you, need a little bit of that extra space, you can actually slide that seat, like I said, kind of forward and back, just makes it a little bit easier. Now, a few other things in that kind of cargo area, there's actually like a little load leveling thing you can set up. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically you can take the little piece on or out and you can move that up to 3 different levels. So if you're hauling maybe like a couple backpacks or airline bags, you can still put those back there, slide the seats around. Like I said, it's kind of like a Lego set the way you can configure it all. It does make it pretty easy to haul some stuff. It's not the most amount of room in the third row for this class, but if you need stuff in a pinch, like I said, you can fold the seats down and it does does make it pretty easy that way. But in that third row, there's USB-C charging back there. There's also a ton of buttons all over this vehicle to kind of move the seats. So you can't get sort of pinched or stuck in a spot where you have to walk around in the back and move it. There's just lots of ways to fold and move the seats, whether that's power, or in the second row, you can just pull the handle, flips the seat down, and then flips it forward. Makes it really easy to hop into that third row. And it also makes it easy if you're bringing stuff with you. Now, what's good about this one has the captain seat, so that basically goes from 8 passenger down to 7 passenger, but you can get through the middle. There's a little storage kind of cubby in that center area there, but the second seats for the Platinum are not only heated, but it's also a ventilated second row. So if you got the kiddos back there, maybe you got the teenagers getting a little bit older, they're gonna be so happy. There's USB-C charging in the back. There's also a household plug back there, heated, ventilated seats, vents. It is so nice in that second row. Plus, you do get a ton of room back there. Not to mention, this one also gets the panoramic sunroof. So that really opens it up, especially with the all black interior like this one is. Having the sunroof open is so awesome. It is definitely a great feature to add to these Sequoias. Now, what about from the driver's seat? So ride and drive. Like I said, if I put my foot down, you get that little bit of boost or turbo noise when you floor it just because of that cool air intake. I mean, how often do you really floor the vehicle? But just putting your foot down, that little kind of spool sound, I love that. It is so much fun. I think that is a great upgrade to add to one of these Sequoias, but really, this thing's got a ton of torque. At over 580 foot-pounds of torque, this thing gets up and moves for a large SUV, yet with the hybrid system, if you don't need to put your foot in it all the time, like I said, you can try to get the best possible mileage out of it. But the ride and drive is so quiet and comfortable in here. This really does compete to me with German luxury SUVs just because of the quietness of the cabin, the luxury on the inside. I mean, you're getting a lot of really cool equipment and style with this vehicle. But from my seat, I have a heated leather-wrapped steering wheel. I also have heated and ventilated seats for the driver and the passenger. And these are also massaging seats. It is so comfortable in here. I wasn't expecting that when you hop in, just how comfortable these Sequoias really are. It just makes it so easy to eat up your day-to-day commute, or if you're going on a road trip. I mean, you can hear at the stoplight, goes quiet. Then I take off and the gas motor kicks back in, but it's not a super aggressive kick like some of the older hybrids. This one's just comfortable, easy, and it's very smooth. And then it just kind of eats up the road. I know we're kind of at the tail end of road construction season here, but the sewer drains, the cracks in the road, with these large 20-inch wheels, good tire on this truck, it really does make it nice to commute, or like I said, spend some time behind the wheel. Now, this one has the 14-inch infotainment screen, so that's gonna give you wireless Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. It just makes it so simple. You're not messing with your phone when you're on the go. I had my phone on the wireless charging pad down here, so it's fully charged up when I get somewhere, and having text messaging, Google Maps, everything built into there just makes it so simple. Then you have a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. That way you can keep track of kind of all your pertinent information that you need to see. You can even pull up your music over there or some of your safety stuff and a few of the little trailering settings. That is pretty sweet. And then this one also gets a heads-up display. So you can configure that in the menu to kind of show you what you want to see up there, but it's just nice for keeping your focus on the road ahead and not messing with your phone or anything else when you're on the go. Now, obviously, as a family SUV, safety is going to be important. Blind spot monitoring. This has a ton of Toyota safety sense features in here, but one of my favorite ones being the adaptive cruise control with the lane departure warning system. So I actually had a Tundra for a while and it had the same system, and I miss that adaptive cruise control so much. It's so good in these new Toyota vehicles, especially with the lane departure system. It just takes such a load off when you're driving, or like I said, going on those road trips, running up to the cabin, you set that 3, 2, 1 kind of car length, keeps that distance on the road, makes it really easy. Now, this one also gets a dual zone climate control in here. So driver passenger can select that, and then you get a tri-zone in the back. So if you got the kiddos, like I said, back there, everybody's gonna be comfortable. And then the backup camera, it's so good. This is a big truck. And if you're not used to driving a big SUV around, having that 360 backup camera, actually, when you kind of come up to a stoplight, it's hard to show on camera, but if you get close to a car, it will actually pull up the camera for you, just so you can always be checking your surroundings. That's a really nice setting I like. Having that on is helpful. And then you also get a digital rear view mirror. So if you got it all loaded up with stuff, or the kids are in the back, you can't quite see out of the rear view mirror, having the digital one is really, really convenient. But overall, I really like it. I love how quiet and comfortable it is. It just eats up the road, and you can spend so much time in here because these seats are so comfortable. Not even thinking about the massage seats or heated or ventilated, just the seat itself is great. I love the seated position. I love the kind of higher armrest if you want it up here on the door. Toyota really just nailed that. If you're gonna spend some time in this car, you wanna be comfortable, and that is absolutely what they're delivering upon. But beyond that, this one is the 4-wheel drive, so with winter coming up, you can kick it into the 4 high and make sure you've got that bite and traction. And then there is just a few other little drive modes. So if you want to go between a sport or an eco mode, try and get the best mileage, or put your foot down, hear that turbo and have a little bit of fun, you do have that option. So we do have to touch on price. So MSRP on these vehicles is gonna start around the $60,000 price range. This particular one is pretty well loaded up. There's a lot of options and other things on here. So MSRP on this one's gonna be around $89,000. So yes, I get it, it is expensive. But if you're looking at a Mercedes, BMW, or an Audi SUV with all the technology and equipment you're getting into this one, you would be sticker shocked just to see how expensive those are as well. Yet, I don't think you're taking away a German luxury experience when you're behind the wheel. You really are getting the quietness of the cabin, the tech, all of the features you'd expect. Yet, again, it is expensive, but you're not quite as high as maybe some of those other vehicles might be for an MSRP. But I mean, overall, I could easily daily drive one of these. Like I said, I had the Tundra for about 6 months. It was such a great truck. I really do think these ride so well on this multi-link suspension, and there's pretty much one you can configure to like. So if you just want kind of more of the base SR5, or you really want all the equipment for the capstone, you can absolutely do that. So one other big thing to add is when you shop with Walser, we offer an 8-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty. So Toyota actually offers 2 years of complimentary maintenance new, but then we go above and beyond that, and you're basically driving this car pretty much worry-free for the next 8 years or 100,000 miles. But I think the Sequoia is definitely one to add to your list if you're doing some third row shopping, to come out, take for a spin, and see what you think. Now that was just a quick look and drive at the 26 Toyota Sequoia. Now if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive, visit us online at walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching.